Dude, can we talk about that real fast?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, they banned nicotine puff bars.
I'm heated. They'll ban puff bars and SLO. They'll ban vapes and SLO, but they're not gonna ban cigarettes. Like, juice my ass, dude. I guarantee it's better to have people vaping than smoking cigarettes. And I'm sure that's controversial, and I'm sure people would love to fight me on that, and, like, that's fine. But, like, the thing is, in SLO, the reason they ban it isn't because they care about your health. The reason they ban it is because they don't want people smoking cigarettes because they think they stink, which they kind of do. But, like, if your prerogative is to ban them so you don't have people smoking in public, fucking ban the cigarettes and allow the vapes, dude. At least they don't smell bad, and you can ghost your hits and they disappear. Like, don't guise it as public health. They're the same thing. Like, oh my god, it's so irritating because I'm just gonna go to Pismo and buy it anyway. Like,
this is actually. Why would they ban hit sticks, puff bars, whatever? Why would they ban that? Like that. Like, I don't understand why they would ban that. Like, that's your freedom of being able to say, hey, today I want to drink coffee. I'm gonna drink this drug. Yeah. It's called caffeine. Totally. I'm gonna get fucked up on caffeine today. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, I'm gonna go to Sandy's. I'm gonna buy nicotine, and I'm gonna get fucked up on nicotine today.
Totally.
So I think, personally, to me, this is what I think. I think that it's like a lot of times we'll see younger kids smoking this kind of shit versus smoking cigarettes. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a huge impact on like Nick sticks and all that shit, and like puff bars and Juuls. Blah, 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 blah. Because everyone sees a bunch of fucking younger kids doing it versus them actually smoking cigarettes. Because they, like, I'd much rather smoke that than smoke a fucking cigarette.
I don't even like cigarettes.
So...
I won't lie, I have a nicotine addiction. Cigarettes don't do it for me.
So I think it's a huge stigma on, like, the kids. Like, young children... Not young children, I say high schoolers. Teenagers to, like, our age, kind of. I feel like we see more people smoking that versus smoking cigarettes.
Definitely.
You know, but Definitely. it's just so weird. Like, I just don't get it.
I feel like because of what you're saying, though, old people will look at it and they'll be like, vaping's getting the kids in, so they want to ban it. But, like, they don't think about the fact that kids would be smoking cigarettes anyways. And, like, yeah, this is easier to obtain and easier to hit, but, like, that doesn't mean it's sucking kids in. And on top of that, like, they banned smoking in SLO, like, years ago. They're like, you can't smoke in public, which is fine. I don't really care about that. Like, they don't really enforce it. And on top of that, like... That's understandable. Like, you don't want to be giving secondhand smoke out, for sure. But, like, at the end of the day, like, you can't just ban the whole thing. Like, if anything, tighten it down. Like, look more at, like, kids smoking it. Look more at, like, illegal sales. Look more at, like, seeing kids with it and maybe being, like, actually getting those kids in trouble for having it. Because right now, you can't get in trouble, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure, as someone who is, like, under 21, you can't actually get in trouble for having a vape or cigarettes. You just get in trouble for selling it to them. So change that. Be like, if you have it, you can get cited. And I guarantee they wouldn't do it as much because they'd be more worried. Like, weed, for example. Like, when we were in high school, we were, like, obviously we still smoked weed. But we were more scared to because we're like, if we get caught with this, we're in trouble. Whereas, like, cigarettes and vapes, you don't actually get in trouble for having it unless they change that. Could be wrong still. But, like, dude, like, I just don't understand banning vapes and not banning cigarettes.
Yeah, it's
like at the end of the day, I'm like, that baffles me how that comes through, because I'm like, dude, like, tell me you wouldn't rather have people smoking vapor that just disappears than having people smoke cigarettes that linger and smell and shit like that and are just more, like, toxic. Like, you have to smoke a whole cigarette to get the same effect as one puff of a vape. Well, so even then, it's still, like, worse for you.
Like, 2 of these is equivalent to what, like, 6 or 7 cigarettes?
Oh, I honestly don't know. I would probably say one of these is probably about it. This is like 2,000 puffs. It's probably close to a pack of cigarettes. But, like, probably this lasts me like a week. Like, this lasts me a whole week. Like, some people smoke a pack a day. And, like, even me, like I mentioned a second ago, like, with cigarettes, like, I've never understood. Like, before vapes came around, I never had a nicotine problem. I tried cigarettes. I never got it because I didn't get the head rush. I didn't understand. Like, they just tasted terrible, and you have to smoke an entire cigarette to feel kind of, like, buzzed.
I don't understand that.
And with this, like, you take a fat puff, like? You're like, oh, and then it's over in, like, 3 seconds. And it's like, I don't understand, like, cigarettes, like, you have to smoke so many of them to get the same effect as one puff of this. And, like, yeah, nicotine levels, this is probably equivalent, but, like, in terms of what's actually entering your lungs and doing the damage, I can't imagine this is worse. And again, I'm not a scientist. I don't know. This seems better societally and in general to me than cigarettes do. And so the fact they ban them and not cigarettes, I'm like, dude, why?
Dude, speaking of which, or sorry, I can't.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying it's hard to determine that when it's like.
It is.
I just think it has something to do with, like, all the teenagers that are fucking buying it with, like, illegal like fake IDs.
I think that's the main reason is teenagers getting hold of them. That's kind of the driving force behind like banning them. Is like kids having them.
Because it tastes good. No one wants to fucking smoke cigarettes anymore because of that shit.
Oh, never. No, yeah. This shit tastes amazing.
Dude, yeah. The people making the laws to get this shit like this banned, they don't understand us.
No.
You know what I mean? You guys, I want to say this is pretty much factual. You guys are sitting down next to right now one of the most pro advocate of legalization of every drug.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
I'm
for
the
sure.
same way.
I'm the
Everything.
same way.
I'm like...
People can just wake up one day and say, "Hey, we're banning this."
I
I
know.
don't like that. I don't.
I don't
like
either.
that.
I don't like it either.
either.
You should
I
be able
don't
to do
either.
whatever you want to do. Like legalize every
For
drug,
real,
like you're
for
saying.
real,
Like,
yeah.
like let the choice be up to you. If you want to do this, like your body, your choice. Like that applies
Yeah.
to certain topics specifically, but it
Applies to
should apply to
literally
every
everything.
topic. Like,
Everything.
Yeah, like I get like
This-
things like bath salts. You do them and you become a fucking like wook zombie that goes
No,
out and
that
attacks
was your
people. Like
choice.
that's a little different.
That was your
But if you
choice.
do that, get tased, bro. Like,
Get
like
tased.
sorry, you're gonna get
Yeah,
tased.
yeah, yeah.
Like don't prevent them from doing that. If somebody's dumb enough to do something like that and go become a fucking like freak, they'll get tased and arrested. Amazing. But like you should be able to do things like Molly, like do things like shrooms, like things you want to do in your time for yourself. Why is society telling you not to? And honestly, I firmly believe it's because things like that awaken you to how like whack society can be.
How real.
Like
that
I know it's a
can
bit of a
be.
conspiracy theory. I think a lot of the reason that you're not allowed to do certain things, like they don't love weed being popular, they don't want you to go do shrooms or DMT,
So
is
that,
because they
yeah.
think that like you're gonna awaken and be like, oh, why is society like this? And if enough people do that, it kind of hits the base of like the society of like go to school, get a job, have a family, die.
Well, that's the
You
thing.
know, because